Hey y'all, y'all ready for today's class? Grab your notebooks because we're talking about visualization, manifestation, the power of the mind. And as always, we know this is for entertainment purposes, but if you write it, if you read it, if you hear it, if you say it, then you will learn it. I am your professor, Dr. Kim Chi. Let's get into some metaphysics. We already know that belief is the foundation of everything, right? And if you don't know, you can always go check that class out. It's probably one of our first classes that we talked about. Because belief is the foundation of everything, it's really the setup for how to make things happen in your life, how to take the ancestor conversation further, how to really impact, change your actual life. Here's the thing though, your brain doesn't necessarily need the thing that you believe to be true. It can be something that you just imagined or really desire to be true in order for it to manifest or become reality in your physical life. Whatever you focus on becomes your reality. Remember the reticular activating system, or the RAS system? Sorry guys, I'm at swim and people keep walking by. So anyways, the RAS system basically is your brain's filter for the things that you want to see more of. And what you focus on expands and then builds momentum to manifest in reality. If we think about how to make something reality, we have to know that it's not so much what you see in your space, it's what you imagine in your space. So thought or imagining equals reality. But it's not really that simple, right? So your thought has to partner with your feeling. Your subconscious mind, which is responsible for over 95% of our behaviors, responds more to emotion than it does actual just random thought. So you have to create what you're thinking in a way that you can really feel it and embody it. You have to smell it and taste it and hear it in your mind's eye. Now, not everybody is going to see something. You see an object. There's my little daughter's toy right here. You don't necessarily close your eyes and see that object appear. You imagine it and you say, oh, I know my kid has a toy that has a green top and a yellow bottom, right? Like I'm imagining what that could be like. I might not get a visual image in my head, but that's okay. It doesn't necessarily have to be a visual image in your head. If it is a visual image, that's okay too. But more importantly, it's what did I feel like when I held that toy? What did I feel like when I described that toy? What did I feel like when I got that toy? And that rarely happens in what we would perceive the mind. That happens in what we perceive the heart or the gut, sometimes the shoulders, sometimes the legs, our back. We feel it really everywhere in our bodies. What do I imagine that it smells like? For most of us, whether we eat it or not, we know what bacon smells like. So if you could imagine yourself waking up on a Saturday or Sunday morning to somebody preparing you breakfast in bed, let's just pretend for a second that you eat bacon and you have the smell just hit you, you know what it is. And a side note, smell is the biggest indicator that you're imagining correctly. So you are back to this example. You wake up and you can imagine what the bacon smells like. You can imagine what it tastes like. It's salty, it's crispy, it melts in your mouth maybe, and then you can imagine the feelings that are attached to it, because now you have breakfast in bed and you can smile and it's just the sunshine fills your space. Imagine that feeling. And that's how manifestation works in general. But if you want to make it happen faster, You want to attach a thought, something that you want, right? Or something that you've seen, or something that you want to make happen in your life. Plus that emotion, that feeling, plus an action. Side note here, remember that in quantum physics, nothing happens. Quantum observation says that nothing exists until we observe it anyway. So the thought plus the image or the feeling of it is a way of our body sort of observing a thing, and the action step that happens as a result of it, or in addition to, not as a result of. So it's the thought, it's the action, it's the thought, it's the image or the feeling, and it's the action. This is all creating momentum, will bring that thing to fruition just that much faster. The action doesn't have to be something big. We talked about this also in another video, but essentially it can be something like, I want to go viral on TikTok, so I'm going to be on TikTok, right? That's the action that I'm taking because I want to manifest viral TikTok videos. So if you use sort of like the quantum observation field that we talked about, what we're essentially saying is, when you think about something and you visualize it in your head, or you imagine it and you feel it, and then you take an action step towards it, you are essentially collapsing the time space continuum, and you're making reality happen that much faster. Sounds like something out of science fiction, right? But that still takes time, and we see it as we see it in the physical realm, right? So we live in a culture, for the most part, where we want to 10x something. So how do we 10x it? We add thought plus feeling plus action plus affirmations, and then we will 10x it. It'll come to us even faster. Well, of course, you're going to want to know, what are those affirmations? And I will tell you in our next video. See you in a second.